everybody. I'm like super excited. So my name's Nicole, and I am going to hand this over to Vanessa, who organizes for everybody, and she is going to introduce herself and start us away. You should be able to unmute yourself and do everything. Okay, cool.
Hi guys, how are you doing tonight? I'm so pumped right now for this Zoom, but I'm super scared too, I have to admit it. So as you can hear, I have an accent. I'm from France, but I live in the US now. So I don't know if I said it already, but I'm Vanessa Karcher. I'm a double diamond leader. I have, actually it's my 5th birthday today, so I'm so happy. It's been such a crazy journey. And I just feel like actually I was the first one who needed this kind of Zoom, because I have been losing my rank a couple of times. I've been down and up, and it's been so crazy, but I just feel like there's so many amazing stories out there. And I was just like, okay, let's do something about comeback stories, about who actually haven't had just a perfect story with It Works, because we know we are entrepreneurs and it's not always easy. And I just feel like what you're going to hear tonight is going to blow your mind. So please grab something to take notes and grab some tissue, because I know some of the stories and you're going to cry for sure. So tonight we're going to hear from Rachel, Jenny, and Amanda. They're going to introduce themselves right away. And we're going to talk about who they are, what's their journey with It Works, what happened in their business when they get down and they lost everything, and what they wish they knew at that time to overcome it faster, how actually they overcame it, and what their best advice for us tonight to do exactly the same and get back on and go right away to the top. So yeah, I can't wait for them to share about their mindset. It's going to be so inspiring. So excuse my French if it's not perfect, but yeah, I'm pumped. So if I start speaking French, just say it to me. Okay, so I think we're going to start with Rachel, and she doesn't really need me because she has an amazing story and she has been telling this story so many times. She doesn't need me to ask questions. Where are you, Rachel? Can you hear me? I don't see her.
There.
Rachel Jules, are you here?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, so go ahead. Talk a little bit about yourself and your journey with It Works, where you were before, and what happened, because I know your story is really amazing. And I remember when I was down in this business, I watched one of your Zoom and I was just like, okay, if she did it, I can do it, and everybody can do it. So I can wait for you to share it.
Okay, yay. Okay, so I guess I'll just jump right in. I asked Vanessa before, so I was like, do you like asking questions? Can I just talk? Because I know we have 20 minutes each. I'm like, can I just talk for 20 minutes? Because I know all the questions. I'm just better that way, you guys. And the only reason I say that is because, okay, I talk really fast, and I'm going to try to slow it down because sometimes I'm not conscious of it. But I also jump from one thing to another. So bear with me. It all kind of makes sense in my head, even if it doesn't make sense to you. But anyway, so I'll just jump right in. Just quickly touch up on who I am, and then I'll just get into what you guys really want to hear probably. So yeah, I'm Rachel, and I actually am celebrating 4 years on the 18th of this month, which is just really crazy to me. And it's just so crazy to think of my journey throughout the past 4 years, and my ups and my downs, and how down some of those downs were. And I'll get into that, but just a little bit about where I was before this. I had just turned 22 years old. I was starting my senior year of college. I was a full-time server with an 8-month-old son, and my husband had just proposed. So I was busy, I was broke, I was on government assistance, and I definitely did not need to be adding this to my plate. I had tried another company fresh out of high school, and I lasted maybe a month or two. It just wasn't great. And I won't name drop because it's nothing against the company. I think it was a matter of time and the company itself and like the age aspect, but I was bad at it. And so I didn't want to join another company. This wasn't a part of my plan, but well, we know how good God is, and He placed it in my path, and I joined, and I had a really, really fast start. And while that was really awesome at the time, looking back, I can see how that was almost like, it's like I don't want to say detrimental, but it's like bittersweet when people start really fast, right? Because we're like, yes, I got a runner. But then we're like, wait till things slow down. And then they think that they suck, or, you know, all those things. And so I went diamond in 3 months, and then I went double 2 months later, and Zach was the diamond to my double. So we earned a lot of bonuses right off the bat, and we were making money fast off the bat. And so we ended up quitting our jobs 5 months in. And that next month, I was so close to being boxed for triple. And then before I knew it, that was the first time in my business that I started, like, I dealt with quitters, and I didn't know, like, I remember talks with Tiffany. I know Tiffany's on here, and I joke all the time, but I'm not kidding. She was so scary when I was new. And I remember just being dramatic, talking about wanting to quit just because someone wanted to quit, and it was me, and I was a bad leader, and I didn't know how to handle drama on my team and all that stuff. And so it took me a year from double to go triple. And after triple is when my business it went really high, and then it went low for a long time. And so when I went triple, that next month, when I got my first triple check, it was $13,000, which I would like to think is really high for a triple. So we were still young, and it was still like that mindset of making so much money and living the dream and a little bit outside of our means, and, you know, not debt free. And we loved that money. And so I actually found out I was pregnant with Elijah 4 weeks after I went triple. And that pregnancy with Eli was so much different than Carter. I was getting sick every day. It was miserable. It was so miserable. And I remember the second month after I went triple was probably the first month in my entire business. So that's about 2 years in. The first month in my entire business that I really did not work my business. I was faking it, not happy, lazy, not the best leader. And I remember when prelims posted, we were at the zoo, and that was like the first and only time we didn't rush to see prelims, because I was like, our check's gonna drop below 5 figures, the life is just gonna be over, and like all dramatic. And we ended up getting in the car, checking our prelims, and my second check was $16,000. And I remember we were just like, holy crap, like, you know, oh, it's a mistake. But instead of using that as like a turnaround, like this is your last warning, get it together, I had the mindset of, this is residual income. I really don't have to do anything. I busted my butt for 2 years, and I'm pregnant. Now I'm just going to live my pregnant life, and my team can kind of do the rest for me, right? And I know that's such a crappy mindset, but I know I'm not the only one that has made that mistake. And so hopefully, if you haven't made that mistake, you're learning from my mistake. I don't know how my check went up that month. I don't know how, but ever since that month, not ever since, but for the next couple of months, my check drastically dropped until in August. I remember Zach sitting me down and talking to me, and because I'm a little bit psycho with this business, and he had tried to mentally prepare me for losing triple. We had boosted and boosted and boosted and boosted every single month. After I went triple, I forced that promotion. I wanted that rank so freaking bad. And in August, he's like, I'm putting my foot down. Enough is enough. You're going to lose rank. And he wasn't being a butthead. It was like, someone needed to tell me. And I lost rank that month. And after I lost rank, I was just pissed off. I was fat and pregnant and still puking, so I was upset. I hated the company for a second, you know, blaming the company, right? We lost rank, so the company just sucks, right? My team let me down. I'm so mad at my husband. It's his fault. He held me back. Our marriage was suffering around that point. And I know, oh my gosh, it was my kid's first day of school, so I'm pretty emotional. But on top of all of that, I don't want to say I didn't love my unborn baby, but I was pissed at him too. I was so mad that I worked so freaking hard. Triple was so hard, you guys. Triple was so freaking hard, harder than press. But I was so mad that I busted my butt. And it's like, I got so mad at everybody because I was like, I worked so hard and I'm pregnant. Like, let a girl just be pregnant. Why do I still have to work? And so I ended up having Eli in November. So my check just kept going down. And around November is when my husband started talking about going back to work. And we started fighting even more because I didn't want that to happen. I had Eli at the end of November, and that same month I lost double. So we went from making, you know, 13,000, 16,000, and then like just dwindling down to in December as a diamond making $2,500. And I know that's a lot of money, but that's not a lot of money when you're used to making 5 figures and you're spending money like you make 5 figures, right? And that was around Christmas time. And you guys, this was at the end of 2016. And I will never forget how gross it felt to be in this business for 2 years as a lifetime triple diamond, lying to people, calling all the credit cards to see how much we had left so that we could buy the boys presents and still act like we were making triple diamond pay so nobody in our family knew. All those nasty freaking feelings. And I was just so angry. Zach had gotten accepted at a job position. And so he was going to start working in January. I was so mad at him. I was like, I didn't sign up to be a single mom of 2 and try to work this because I was just hateful. It was so freaking hard. And I felt like, I don't know, I got so low to a point, you guys, because I went triple in February. And so after that second month where I made 16,000 and it kept going down, that's a long time to be down. And so when you're down for so long, you believe that you suck. You believe that you can never do it again. You believe you're a one-hit wonder. You believe all of this. So I remember having one talk with Zach, and we're fighting in December, and he's talking about having to go back to work and how it's going to be. And he was happy about going back to work. He had decided he was going to go back to work and he would never come home. It ended up lasting three months. I went presidential and he's home now. But I remember getting so mad, and I was like, why do you get to go back to work? Like, maybe I should go back to work. Like, expecting him to talk me off the ledge. Like, no, you got to stay home and make that money. And you know what he said? He said, maybe you should. And I was so like, at that point, I'm like, I need to get it together because he's given up on this business. If he's telling me that I should go back to work, that's the only time he's told me to do it. And so all of December of 2016, I just spent time soul searching. And I remember praying and praying and praying, Lord, if this is not for me, please slam the door in my face, because there's nothing worse than feeling like you don't have an identity, right? Like, I'm so obsessed with it. Works, you guys. I've been so obsessed since the day I joined, except for that little period of time when I was pregnant. And so when you're so obsessed with something and it becomes your life, and then you just are bad at it and it gets taken away for so long, you like feel lost. And so I'm like, am I even supposed to be in this company if I really can't even find my love for it, you guys? I didn't love it anymore. So I wanted to say that because I'm like shaking, but with the season we're in, where people are coming and going, and I don't want to talk about that and make that about this, but it's so like, it makes me just want to like shake. Oh my gosh, like, you can't just leave when it gets hard. It is, I don't want to say it's normal to lose your love, but you guys, I'm in the top 50 of the company, and I know I'm not even like the highest person on here, but I'm in the top 50 of the company because I just didn't give up. And I had an opportunity in 2016 where I didn't have a single love for the business. I had made my mind up that my success was short term. If I sucked for this long, I wasn't going to get back in it. And all of these things, I could have left at that point, but I just had to retrain my mind to love it again. And I don't think that's wrong. I think that that's going to happen to everybody in this business if you're a lifer. It's not just going to be sunshine and rainbows. Like, I still wake up, okay, I love this business. Like, it's my freaking, it's up there, right? But I still wake up and I don't want, like, I have days where I wake up and I want to lay around and eat freaking donuts, and I don't want to do a damn thing. Of course, it would be easier to put my phone away all day and not be on my phone. I hate Facebook. I sometimes hate being on my phone so much. Yeah, it'd be easier to take a freaking 10-month long break. Of course it would. But guess what? You have to think about all the things that come with it when you are doing those things. And so that's just so minimal to me. So those days that I wake up and I'm like, F this, I woke up to 5 people quitting on me, I'm not going to quit. And it makes me like, it stings and it makes me not want to do It Works for the day, but that doesn't mean I don't want to do It Works ever again. I'm just human, and we're human. So it's okay to feel those feelings. But what I think I can offer you, if I can offer you guys anything, it's when you feel those feelings, and you're going to feel those feelings, you have to know what you need, what you personally need to get over that. And we're all so different, you know. Sometimes I'm not joking when I say this. It sounds like a joke, but sometimes I do need to eat. I've always ate my feelings. Sometimes I need to take a walk. Sometimes I need to unplug and just love on Zach or my kids. It depends on the situation, but I need those things at different points depending on how low I am. And I know how I am at this point. And so I'm jumping all over the place. I even wrote some notes, but it's okay. I haven't looked down once. When it comes to non-negotiables and stuff, after being in this business for almost 4 years now, I've come to a point now where my number one non-negotiable is not waking up at 6 o'clock and working all day long in the morning and all day long. It's waking up at 6, you know, getting my mind right, working for a little bit. I don't even do those 2-hour power hours anymore because I need my time right when I wake up, whether that's I'm going on a walk or I'm doing whatever. I'm doing the self-development and exercise. Right off the bat, I have to, you guys, I'm at a point in my life where I can't neglect myself anymore because I'm psycho. I'm unhappy. When I'm unhappy, I'm a bad wife. I'm a bad mom. I hate the business. You know, it's all hand in hand when we're not happy because we're psycho. Maybe that's just me. I'm psycho. It's okay. So I have to, a non-negotiable for me is waking up early. And that doesn't mean it's easy just because it's non-negotiable. It's freaking hard. And college is making it even harder. I can't wake up. I cannot wake up. But waking up early to start my day off, my mind right with the Lord, with myself, with my health, and then just tackling the day. You know, you have to put yourself first, you guys. I ran myself thin to go triple diamond. And I believe that that's why out of all four of those bonuses or promotions, presidential was the easiest, not building wise. But that day of the promotion, Tiffany's on here, Savannah is on here. They came over, they're like, I just spit. Like, why don't you have diarrhea right now? Because I'm a psycho. I'm always locked in the bathroom. And I'm sure they're probably judging me for saying diarrhea on a Zoom, but I'm not on stage right now. I seriously get anxiety, and that was the most easiest promotion because the time was right and I was doing what I had to do. So if you guys are at your low or you've had your low, the only thing that can get you over it is yourself. And so in January, you guys, sorry, my time's like really about up here. Well, actually we started at 8:05, so I'm at 15 minutes. But in January, when I finally, you know, there was no aha moment of like, you know how I said I was praying and praying and praying. It wasn't like the light shine through and I was like, I hear you. I just didn't hear anything. He didn't slam the door. There was nothing. There was nothing there. And I took that as a sign that God was telling me that it was just me. I just had to get over it. There was no job position, like nothing that made me see that I wasn't supposed to be at work. So I just had to get over it. So I just started over. And I'm a lifetime ranked president or triple diamond at the time. And I sent a video of myself being honest to my team. I asked who was in, who was out. I apologized. I, shared a little bit about my pregnancy, on why I sucked. And I said, who's with me? And not very many were, probably less than 12. And I just put them in a chat and we just started over. I spent those, downtimes watching YouTube videos again, retraining my mind. When you stop working for so long, of course you're not a leader anymore. Of course you feel like you suck because you do kind of suck, but it's only temporary. You can be good again. You just have to retrain your brain. And so I did suck as a leader after giving up for so long, but I just started watching those videos again, taking notes. Some of it seems so stupid and like, I know this, but I felt like a leader again as I took the notes and then I trained my team again. And then I just got back in the swing of things. I didn't tell my team to do anything that I wasn't doing anymore. We get so caught up in our rank and when we're on that high, especially if we promote, of being bossy and micromanaging and we're not doing it ourselves. So leading from the front and just every single time I signed someone, I just would explain how I signed them to them and they were seeing it happen and we were doing it together. And then just from January to April, every single month I regained rank. And then in April, I went presidential. And I was making $3,000 in January of 2017. And my first presidential check was $20,000 in April, 4 months later. So the only reason I say that is because, you guys, I just did it. And I had $20,000 on my whiteboard since I went double diamond. And I will never forget opening up prelims, and this was all God, because you guys, this is the only time in the freaking business that prelims were posted on the 5th. Remember that time that they were posted on the 5th? That was my first presidential check. And it was $20,000, my first check, and that was all I wanted to make. If I had made $20,000, I had made it. And you guys can make it, I promise. I know that I don't have all the time in the world to explain some of the lows of my low point, but there are some bad lows, you guys, that only a couple people in my business know about. Some nasty lows that affected my business, that affected me, that made it so easy for me to want to quit. In my marriage, in my business, in my life, in my friendships, everything felt like it was crashing at once. And I just didn't quit. And I'm only crying because it was my kid's first day of school and I'm a freaking shit show. But I don't even know if that was everything I was supposed to talk about, but the only way I overcame it was just doing it. I was sick and tired of being negative Nancy. I was sick and tired of fighting with Zach. I was so tired of being that boy that cried wolf. I remember at the end of March, I knew that April was my last month to get my presidential bonus. And I remember telling Zach I was going to do it. And I was not even close to being boxed, but I told him I was going to do it. And I just remember the tone in his voice, and he was just okay, but not believing it. And I will never forget when he went back to work and he said, I will never, ever, ever stop working again, because he never thought, and it wasn't him being an a-hole, he never thought that I was going to make the kind of money I make ever again, because I had made so little for so long because I gave up on it. So please don't quit, you guys, don't quit. The grass is only greener where you water it. And so whether you were to quit, and that's the thing is, like, when I did think about quitting and I wondered what God's plan was for me, I never once thought about joining another company. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go into the real world and actually get my first real job. And it's not going to be McDonald's. That was the only job I've ever had. It was McDonald's. And it was scary. And I just started envisioning, I'll end it on this. The only aha moment I had that helped me get over it was, I remember when Zach went back to work in the beginning of January, and Carter had just turned 3. And he's smart. 3-year-olds are smart. And I remember how many times he would ask me where dad was, right? You know, when you're used to your mom and dad being home for 2.5 years and your dad's not here every time you wake up now, it sparks a question, right? And I remember that question. And finally I'm like, oh my gosh, like if I have to go back to work, who's going to answer this question when mommy's not there either? Oh my gosh, that freaking had me a mess. And I started visualizing it. Okay, if I go back to work, how is my life going to be? What's that post I'm going to make on Facebook? Because, you know, we got to make a post if we stop It Works Global. Who's going to laugh at me? Who's going to call me? Who's going to, you know, I started visualizing it as if I was going to quit that day. And I did not like the feelings it made me feel. I did not like thinking about who was going to raise my kids, what that post would be, what my parents would say, how many friends I would lose. I didn't like it. And I took that as a sign that I was supposed to be part of this company. And I might not have a love for it at that point in time because I just got used to being lazy, but I knew that it would come back. It can always come back, you guys. But it's just a matter of if you believe that you're I don't know. It's just a matter of if you believe it. I don't know. So that's just what I wanted to say. I also think my period's coming tomorrow, but yeah, I hope that helps you guys. I just need you guys to know that you will struggle at some point in this business. It's just a matter of how hard you do and just what you'll do while you're down. It's okay. I promise there is always an up. There's always an up, and I love you, and I'm going to mute myself because it's always awkward when you say goodbye. Okay, I'm done. Bye.
Don't you just love her? She's amazing, right? I told you. I could hear you like every day. Can you call me every day? I just feel like, I mean, everybody needs to hear that. And by the way, I want to ask you guys, who is double diamond and think that this freaking triple diamond is so hard? Like, it's like a huge gap. So I'm so glad you talked about that because sometimes people are like, Vanessa, you 5 years in this business and you still double diamond? I'm like, shut up. Because it's hard. And I think sometimes we just need to say it. And yeah, because I feel at that point in the business, we start, like you said, we don't love what we're doing anymore. We start feeling bad in all the area in our life, our marriage, everything. And we've all been there. So I hope you guys love this and taking a lot of notes because I know she's speaking fast, but at least you have a whole bunch of stuff, right? And the other thing that I want to say is that I'm glad you talked about mindset because I feel like I remember when Mark said the hardest battle is between our ears. And that's true because we start like talking so bad to ourselves, some stuff that we would never say to somebody else. And we start believe it. We start thinking we are not worthy. And that's not what we're supposed to do. So the mindset is so huge. And I love the fact that you said that the first thing you have to do at the beginning of the day is actually put something good in your mind so that you have your mind right and you're ready to go for the day. So let's talk with Jenny. I love her story. Probably you've heard about her. Pam Sorter shared her story a couple days ago, and I'm so glad because this is an amazing story too. So Jenny, how are you here? Can you hear me? Jenny? Oh, you can unmute. Oh, I can't either. Nico, I need you. You need to unmute Jenny.
Oh, hey, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Hey guys, how are you? Okay, so I mean, like, really, how do you follow a story like that, right? So
yeah, you can talk about you first, who you are.
Okay.
Business.
So, sorry, go ahead. Okay, so yeah, so I am Jenny Hunter. I've been in the business about 3.5 years. I was in dentistry for 9 years before I started this business. I had tried 3 other businesses like this before, completely crashed and burned and failed in like 3 months before, like during all of those, like none of them lasted any time at all, completely failed. And so I had no goal to ever do this ever again. So I was doing dentistry for 9 years. We had a three-year-old son. My husband's in the Army and gone more than he's home. And we were living paycheck to paycheck, you know, the hiking American dream, right? We weren't awful. We weren't like drowning in debt. And but there was more out there, but we were comfortable. I didn't really know how to go and get more. So we were just living that. So I tried some products, literally had some friends that wanted the products, and I signed up to be a distributor reluctantly because the girl begged me for like 3 weeks. And I was like, okay, so honey, we can make like $500 because all these people want these products. And then, I mean, seriously, who's really going to keep their shipment on after 3 months anyway? And so I'm done, I promise. Well, I went really fast. We went Ruby. I signed my husband up. He went Ruby. We both earned $1,000 bonuses. It was super fast. It was super great. I had to break the news to him that I was not going to quit. And he broke the news to me that I wasn't going to quit first. So super pumped. Loved this company, this business. Month 10, I went diamond. Month 11, my husband went diamond. I went double diamond. We were on top of the world. Everything was great. And then, and we earned $72,000 in bonuses in 2 months. Like $72,000 in bonuses, right? And then we lost double diamond. And we sat at double diamond, or we sat at diamond for a while, lost diamond and emerald. And then I sat at ruby. And I had quit my job when I had went diamond. So I'm like jumping around. So went diamond, then double, quit my job, found out that I was pregnant with kid number 2. My husband gets deployed. Extremely, extremely sick. Like for 9 months, I lived with my head in the toilet, right? So like dying, like literally the worst thing ever. Lose diamond and emerald, went to ruby, stayed there for a while, and then I lost ruby and was at executive. Okay, I made every excuse in the book. We racked up every credit card that we could. We were literally at this point drowning in debt. I was discouraged. I was lost. I was more mad at myself than anything because I knew that I wasn't doing the work. I knew that I wasn't being the leader that I could have been. I was making excuses as to why I wasn't being the leader, because how can you lead a team when your head's in the toilet and then you have a new baby? And how can you lead a team when you have a new baby and you haven't been leading your team, and then your team's quitting, and then it's your fault because they're quitting, and now you've let your team down and you're this horrible person, and everyone is just like looking at you like you're crazy on your team because you haven't been there, right? And then you're lying to everyone else in your family because everything's supposed to be right and everything's supposed to be great and perfect. And I'm working this business and I'm making tons of money. And that was not the case. We delivered my baby in February at executive. And my family still thought that I was double diamond because I had too much pride to tell anyone that I had lost it. All. Like lost it all. We were skipping credit card payments. I had a double diamond, guys. I had a double diamond. So I'm not sure why I didn't quit. I think that I probably should have. That's what everyone would have told me. That's like, that was the normal thing to do. Like, you're failing. Like, why are you going to stick at something that you're not good at, right? So I'm not sure if it was God or if it was pride that I didn't quit, but I didn't quit. I'm still here. So thank you, Jesus. Thank you, pride. Thank you, everything, for the reason that I'm still here. But I didn't feel the release. I didn't feel like I was supposed to quit. I felt like this is what, I mean, first off, I couldn't have gone back and gotten a job. I had a second kid at this point, and we were already living paycheck to paycheck before. And so what was I going to do? I don't know, but I don't know. I was lost. I was literally at the lowest point of my entire life. I felt like the worst failure. I felt like I had failed my team. I felt like I had failed my family. I felt like I had failed my kids. We could hardly put food on the table. Literally, I had a double diamond. I was embarrassed. I'm not a failure. I'm not a quitter. I don't do those things, right? Why was I there? I don't know. And so one of the questions that was put on the board, or the thing to ask, was, what do you wish that you would have done? And no, like, I'm just going to be real here. I hate this question, because we can all sit here and we can all focus on what we wish that we would have done. We all could sit here and wish, like, what could I have done different? What could I have done? Like, what could I make different out of all of this? You can't. It's done, right? So I want you to just forget about that. Forget about everything that's ever happened in the past. Forget about every person that was ever on your team that's not on your team anymore. Stop thinking about what you could have done different. Yeah, I could have worked with my head in the toilet. Yes, I could have stayed up later. Yes, I could have given that more time, but I didn't. And I lost it all, right? So just... That wasn't me. Sorry. Okay, so
it's not you.
Start today. Start today, right? Forget everything. Literally, when I decided that I was going to just get my butt in gear, I pulled out a Ruby chart and couldn't even fill it with names. All right? You have to be okay with that. You got to be okay with that. Stop wishing that things could have been different. Just stop. It's your choice whether you succeed in this business or not. Okay? You just got to go. So, I stopped trying to be in control. I stopped trying to be something that I wasn't. I literally, I mean, we maxed out every single credit card to go to conference. In January of this year, I sat on my back porch and I watched a Zoom. There was this girl. She was telling my story. I'm sorry. I taught myself I wasn't going to do this. She was telling my story. She was speaking right to my heart. She was being real, and she was being honest, and she told me her feelings. She wasn't talking to me. I mean, she was. She didn't even know it, though. It was Rachel. And I sob every time I think about this, because I sat there and I listened to her tell her story. And I like ugly cried, literally ugly cried on my back porch. For an hour, she poured out her heart. And this was a recorded Zoom, a recording video, okay? Literally ugly, sobbing, snot pouring everywhere. And I thought, if this girl can do this, so can I. I don't know what's different about her. I don't know how she got there. I don't know how she did it. But if she can do this, so can I. And so I pulled my husband outside and I sat him down and I said, I want you to watch this hour-long Zoom of this girl telling her story. And he said, okay. And I ugly cried and snotted all over my husband too, okay? And I said, like, it's got to change. It's got to change. Something has to happen. If she can do this, so can I. So if you're sitting here on this Zoom right now, y'all, Rachel Jones told her story before me. She's not famous. She's not some perfect person out there that just poof, something happened to her. She stopped making excuses and she got herself to work. And she told me that, I mean, I say this all the time. Like, I sat on the phone and talked to Rachel Jones. Like, I feel like I did. I never even talked to her before we got in this. I mean, like, seriously, like, I feel like I know her. I feel like she knows my story because she told my story. She sat there and talked about feelings that I have. And so if anything in this entire video at all, ever, one single word has related to you, I want you to know that you can be on a Zoom just like this with a Rachel Jones in 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. You can do it. You just have to decide that you're going to do it. So that was January. February, maxed out every last credit card that we had to go to conference. Literally not a penny to our name. I had one person sitting on my team. And when I say sitting, she wasn't working. She was sitting there. One person. I was at conference alone as a double diamond. Y'all, I ended February with 2,671 in volume. I stood in the daggum Emily Arena. Not a person on my team. And there I was. And Mark Pentecost talked about the black horse. The dark horse, whatever it is. The dark horse. And I said, this is my time because I have nothing left. What am I going to do, right?
You muted. Hold on.
Okay.
Can
Are
everybody
we good now?
mute themselves, please? Because that's really annoying. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm just.
I love you, Vanessa. I love you.
Not respectful. So okay, go ahead.
Okay, so where was I? Did you guys hear all that? Are we good?
Talking about conference when you was
Okay. Okay, dark horse. I was like, this has got to be it. I have no option. I have no choice. I have to just go, right? So, I got home, literally laid on my face and cried out to God and said, I cannot do this on my own. I need your help. I need help. I pulled out an ambassador chart and I prayed over every name because remember, I had no one else on my chart. I mean, one sitter. I didn't even put her on a Ruby chart. I had a sitter.
You said it already, yeah.
Okay, so,
So what happened when you heard about the dark horse and what happened in your mind?
So I came home, I prayed over that chart, ambassador chart, and I said, okay, God, you got to help me. I've got to go. Oh, I've got to do something. I can't do it on my own. You know every single person who's supposed to be on this chart. God, you know who these people are. And so lead me to them. Take me to wherever these people are. Whatever that has, like whatever has to happen. Take me to them. And give me the words to say. And give me the peace that when someone falls off and leaves that they weren't supposed to be here. And give me the peace and the comfort that when someone says no, they weren't supposed to be here. And excuse me here, but I grew a set of balls and I just decided to go work my freaking business. Because no one else is going to work your business, right? It's up to you. It's just up to you. So I said, you know what? I can't ask God to do all the giving. I got to give something here, right? So I said, God, okay, here's what I need from you. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you time every day. I'm going to wake up and I am going to work this business. I'm going to spend time with you. I'm going to pray. I'm going to read my devotion. I'm going to fill my head with you and I'm going to get to work. And I'm going to pay my tithes 10% as soon as I get paid every day. Or every day, because we get paid every day. Every time we get paid, whatever, I'm going to pay my tithes. And I'm not going to falter from that. And I'm going to get to work. So believe in all that or not, that's what I did. And at this point, do you have anything else to lose? Right? So I just did it. I got to work. So ended February with 2,671 in group volume. My paycheck, $194.75. That's pennies. That ain't why I started this business. That was sure as heck not why I was in this business for 3 years, right? So I ended August, like a couple days ago. This was all this year, right? So February, 2,000 in volume, $194 check. Ended August with 30,438 in group volume. I ended July with a $4,000 paycheck. from $194 to $4,000. And I'm celebrating that $4,000 like Rachel Jones celebrated that $20,000 paycheck. And you know what? I hit Ruby and I celebrated like I had never gone Ruby again. I re-ranked Emerald the next month and I celebrated like I had never gone Emerald. I jumped up and down. I celebrated. Like everything. I went Diamond. I laid on the floor in my office and saw my eyes out because I never thought that I would see that again. I went Double Diamond and sat there like, what in the world has happened? And you know what? My goal is to go triple this month. I don't know how it's going to happen. The same way everything else happened. So listen to what I did next, because it's how I went from 2,000 in volume to 30,000 in volume in 438. I listened to The Strangest Secret three times a week. At this point, I think I could probably quote it to you, and I still listen to it. You have to fill your head. Just like she said before I started talking, it's right here. If you don't believe that you can do this, you can't do it. If you don't think that it's possible, you can't do it. You can't. I had to get really serious with myself. And if I was going to make this work, if I was going to do anything with this business ever again, I had to decide that I was just going to do it and that I could. And I just did the work. Host to post. If you're not doing host to post, you are missing out on this business. Go do host to post. Go do it. I could do a whole Zoom on host to post. It's changed my entire business. Literally changed my business. Send the messages. Send them. Build the relationships. Make the friends. Follow up with people. Don't let people sit in your inbox and not talk to them because you're nervous to send a message, because you haven't been working and you don't know what to say, or because your business totally crumbled and you had potential before it crumbled and you feel like a fake person to ask them to join your team now. Go ask them. Go ask them. Use the products. You guys, I have lost 50 pounds since December 29th. On our products. Coffee, intermittent fasting, and I've added some things throughout because products come up. 50 pounds. I feel like a different person. And let me tell you, if you don't think that losing 10, 15, 20 pounds is going to make you feel confident about yourself, then you're wrong. Because I had more confidence after 10 pounds and 15 pounds and 20 pounds than I did after 50 pounds. So don't wait on 50. Lose 5 pounds and celebrate it. Use our products and get results. And I just saw a comment come up that said, how do I add to my contacts? Host a post. Do host a post. I will do a Zoom with whoever wants. I'm probably going to hate myself for saying this, but I'll do a Zoom with anyone that wants to do a Zoom about host a post, because I'm telling you, host a post literally has changed my business. Literally. That one task can help you do everything that you need to do in this business. It's going to help you add contacts. You're going to message people. You're going to follow up. You're going to sign people. You're going to ask people to become distributors. Everything that you need to do with this business is through host to post. Go do it. Go ask people to make posts on their page for you. Be excited. Be pumped up. I don't fake it. If you're not excited, fake it. Fake your excitement. Talk about this business. Be real, but talk about it. Be excited about what's to come, because if you're excited, other people will be too, no matter what. Have the confidence, be excited. I must add 3 new people to my prospect list every single day. And that's kind of, I don't know, kind of like short-shotting myself here. But 3 people a day to my list, new people that I've talked to. Just pick a number and just do it. Add that many people, start that many new conversations with people that are interested in the business. If you do hosted posts, you'll have more than that. Set non-negotiables. Be happy. Focus on positivity. You guys, no one likes a Debbie Downer. If you're negative, if you're talking about all the bad things, if you're talking about how horrible things were, about how horrible your life is, about all the bad things that are happening in your life, no one's going to want to buy from you. If your life's awful, nobody's going to want to join your team. You got to be honest with yourself, and you got to know that. I'm not saying lie, because I was lying before. But I do love this business, and I do love my life, right? I love my life when I was making $194. It wasn't the life that I knew that I was supposed to be living, but I still love my life. There's always something positive. And if you don't focus on that, then you're never going to focus on anything good. Positive, non-negotiables. Non-negotiables. And if anyone's negative, if anyone's speaking anything other than life over you in your business, get them out. Get out. Go read the energy bus. Get them out of your life if they are not telling you that you can succeed. If they're speaking negative over you, they're gone. Non-negotiable. And that goes for yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror every day and tell yourself, I can do this. I will do this. I will do it. And go do it. Because if you tell yourself something long enough, you're going to start believing it. Right? So the past is in the past. And anything is possible. Anything. You just have to believe it. And claim favor over your life and over your business every single day. And do not accept failure. And when I say failure, I don't mean doing things wrong and learning from them. When I say, like, we all have to fail to learn. And you guys, there have been so many lessons in the bottom of this business. At my lowest low, if I knew that I would have the team that I have today, and if I knew that I would have the success that I have now, and if I knew that we would be going in the direction that we are today, back then I would go through every single thing that I went through 10 more times to get to where I am today. So know that. Don't hate where you were. Accept where you were. Be okay with it. Learn from it and go do something with it. Go do something with it. But don't sit in the failure. Don't accept the failure. Use the failure as a lesson and go do something with it. Because in the end, your business does not rise or fall on a single person but yourself. And I tell my team that all the time. It starts and stops with you. Go show your team how to work. If they're not working, go find someone that is. Just go do it. So that's where I am. I think.
I just love you, Jenny. Oh my gosh. I can't stop crying. I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to talk more, but yeah. I don't know.
I get so passionate. I'm sorry. I know that. Like, I feel like I'm probably like yelling at you guys. I'm not yelling. I get so pumped up and so passionate because I know what it feels like to feel like you have nothing left. I mean, I literally have felt so alone. So alone. And I know what that's like.
Weird because we feel like we have so many friends in this business, but at that point, we feel so alone. Like it's crazy. Yeah. And, you know, I love how you said that the stranger's secret is amazing. I listened to it for the first time this morning, and I just felt like this guy was talking to me. Yeah. And I was like, I think sometimes when we've been in this business for a long time, we forget about our why. Especially if you've been checking a lot of dreams on your dream board, you're like, what's next? Because for me, for example, my number one dream was to move from France to the United States. And I was able to do it after 2 years in the business. And I just feel like what can be stronger than that? It's hard to find something that is above your wildest dreams, but you have to think about what's your next dream, what's your next goal, and you have to write it down, and you have to see it every day. And I just feel like sometimes we forget about that, and it's all about taking responsibilities accept that we failed, but we were responsible of this failure, and we just have to learn the lesson and get back to work. And because I feel like at a point we just, like you said, we just can find all the excuses on earth we can find, and there's a lot of excuses. We can find a lot. So I just feel like sometimes you just have to talk to yourself, but not only the meanest way, because I feel like at that point in the business we just keep talking bad to ourselves. And that's why this kind of self-development is so important. I feel like when we want to get back to work or something, we just move everything and we concentrate on action, and we forget about pouring into ourselves. And I was talking with some leaders lately, and they were like, Vanessa, you have to pour into yourself first. And that's true, because otherwise we're not able to pour in others anymore. And we cannot save everyone. We cannot help everyone. We have to run with runners, and we have to find them, but we have to be the first runner in our team. And that's just about a decision. So now I can't wait to hear from Amanda. Are you ready?
Hey, friend. How are y'all? So I don't really know how to follow that. You girls are absolutely stinking amazing. And Jenny actually changed some things in my business, because you know what I did? I'm going to tell my story here in a second, but I reached out on our Aspiring Triples page. I think it was the beginning of last month, and I was like, I need some help. I need somebody to knock me back in gear, right? And Jenny answered, and Ashley answered, and we got on Zoom. And Jenny told me her story. It's the first time I'd ever heard it, and it got me back into gear. So I love that there's accountability here. Hi, guys. But I'm Amanda, and I am from Houston area, and I am 33 years old. I've been in the business about 3 years and 2 months, and my story is just a little bit different. I'm going to take my lashes off because I'm probably going to cry. So I'm just going to let those off. I hope Tiffany hers on here, because she has a little bit to do with my story and she doesn't even know it. So 2013, my cousin and his wife sent me a wrap. I had just had Castle, and they said, here's a wrap. Congratulations on the baby. Now get skinny. And I was like, okay, what is this? So I put it on. Y'all, I bloated really badly. And he said, drink your water, for 72 hours. And 3 days later, I lost inches. Then they talked to me about the business. And, I didn't have a brain cell for it, because I had tried a business, much like Rachel. I had tried a business like this before, and I'd made no money. I spent a lot of money. I didn't make any money. So I didn't have a brain cell for it. But it did work. Fast forward 2 years. We welcomed baby number 2. My son was 2 years old. Liesel was 4 months at the time. And I was fat because my baby weight was not coming off like it did with Castle. We had so much credit card debt because of our medical debt. Both of our kids were born premature and spent some time in the NICU. So our medical debt was astronomical. Okay. To us, it was so bad. Because of our financial stress and our financial debt, our marriage was so stressful. How many of you can relate to that because of finances? You guys, it was so stressful, and I cried and cried. And those sleepless nights that you have because you're worrying, I had a lot of those. And in 2015, I'm scrolling on Instagram, like we all do. And I see this girl, she's, followed me, and I'm never on Instagram anyway, but I just happened to be on, and she followed me. So I checked out who she was. She had twins. She was a believer in Jesus. And so she caught my attention. I started scrolling, and about 9 lines down, I see this wrap, and I'm like, well, crap. And y'all, we were having garage sales to pay our bills to make ends meet. We were selling things on Craigslist and on OfferUp, and it's stuff that we didn't necessarily want to sell. We wanted to keep it, but we needed to pay our bills. And here's one thing about me is that if we were doing that then, we were making things happen. So I knew that I had the grit that I was going to need for this business. Anyway. Fat. So I'm going to reach out to her and ask her about the wrap. She told me about the loyal customer program that was $25. I sold something in my house to get that freaking wrap. She mailed it to me. I tried the wrap. We did before and afters. It worked. Awesome. 2 months later, because she never reached out to me really again. 2 months later, people started doing, a lot of the women on my Facebook were doing at-home businesses, Roden and Fields, Arbonne, and people were starting to reach out to me about this. But I kept thinking about this wrap, and it works because I'd never seen anything like the wrap. And if I have to get it through a distributor, I want to know more. So I started doing my own research. And that's when I found Where's Tiffany Her. That's when I found a video on YouTube, and it was Tiffany Her in her car. And she had this big personality. She was blunt like me, didn't care what anybody else thought. She was just going to tell you what she thought and how she did things. And I was like, I like her. She has a personality kind of like mine. If she could do it, I could do it, right? So I found that. But then my faith is really important to me. Because like I said, I've been laying in my bed at night praying, asking God, okay, we need something. Something's got to give. We can't continue like this. This is not the life that I dreamed of for my family. So I ran across It Works conference from that year, and I started watching it. And Cindy Pentecost, and this is why I took off my lashes because I don't want to cry. But she got up there and she said, this is what I heard. The first thing, we are having an optional night of worship. If you would like to stay, we'd love to have you. And I was like, bam, hooked. Because my faith is important to me. So you guys, that's why we share all different aspects of this company. It could be the relationships, it could be the culture, the financial part, the friendships, but it could be the spiritual leadership that we get from our corporate office, right? Yes, there's so many different beautiful aspects of our business that we need to be sharing because that's the one thing that hooked me. I didn't even really know about the comp plan. So then I started researching even more. Then I found this girl and I said, I'm in. How do I sign up? The next day, she got me on a 3-way call. I know the Canellers do 3-way calls. They're gold. But she got me on a 3-way call with my presidential, and she said, how much money do you want to make a month? And I said, all of it. That's how desperate we were. I didn't know about 500 or 1,000. I just wanted to make all of it. And that is why my story that I'm about to continue to share is just one of drive. So in 21 days, I was built for Ruby. And at that point, they had the $500 Ruby bonus. I went Ruby in 60 days, but I did it by myself. So if you're saying my team is not working, suck it up, Buttercup, and do it yourself. That's my red personality. I'm sorry, but if you want it, you go get it. I had nobody working, and I did it myself. $500, I made $1,000 my first month because I was doing it for my babies. So if you say, I'm doing this for my babies, and then 3 months later, you're like, oh, well, my babies need more attention. No, mama, you got to wake up an hour earlier, or you got to stay up an hour later because you're doing it for your babies. So I continue, my husband's standing right in front of me, staring at me. So I continued to build. I didn't know how to build things. I just knew I was supposed to sign distributors and I was supposed to sign customers. And if you sign a distributor and you place 2 under them and they have their auto ship, you get $100. So I just wanted a lot of $100 bills. But during this time, when we ran into an unexpected something, I got to pay for that in cash. And a lot of that was happening in our life. But God said, see this unexpected, unconventional way that I'm trying to grow you, and trust me, you have no idea the ride that you're about to take, Commander Renee. Like, that's what he told me. So, and you guys, during this growth, I wanted to quit too because I was the only one working. How many feel me on this? I was the only one working in my business, okay? Most of the time. Some would sign 3 or 4, but I wanted it more than them. I did. So I continued. So that $500 Ruby bonus, that is how I got to conference, because the rest of my money was going towards debt. And so it bought my plane ticket, it bought my conference ticket. And then when my presidential upline says, whoever does this, the reward is I'm paying for your hotel room at conference. I worked my butt off and I got it. I got myself to conference. That's the year in 2016. Martin announced the first time ever Emerald bonus of $2,000. Y'all, I was a negative Nancy right after that. I was like, I can't do it. I'm the only one working, but I can't do it. I did it. Because I just decided that I was going to do it. The next month was a $20,000 diamond bonus. I did it. And I got my husband to Emerald. How much in bonus is that? Is that $24,000 in 30 days? It changed our life. And I kept working. And you guys, I did not get a leader until almost a year later in my business. So when you say, Amanda, I don't have any workers, honey, how bad do you want it? And personal development is part of all of this. So fast forward a year, I went double diamond. And you guys, the people that went diamond with me did not go double with me, okay? Your seasons are going to change, but that's why you keep asking people, because these people that you're going to bring into your business are going to be the people that work with you during these seasons and maybe your whole business. But I went double, kept double all year. And then in the fall of 2017, I'm just going to be honest, some drama happened in my team. When Cindy says you can pray people into your business and you can pray them out, I was praying somebody out because it was poison in your business. And when you have poison in your business, it filtrates through all of it. And one month I was double diamond with high volume. The next month I had distributors canceling, customers not ordering, and my volume just it disappeared. And at that time, Adam and I, we just started praying again, what are we going to do? Because he had lost his job. And we said, it's okay. It's okay that you lost your job because mama still worked her butt off. No matter if anybody else did, I still worked. So why don't you stay home for a year and help me continue to build my business? And that's how I went double. It's because I had a little bit more time and a little bit more help. But I lost sight of the real reason why I joined. And it was for my family, but it was to help other people, because somebody, and you guys, somebody's going to relate to this on this team or on this Zoom. And this is why I have to say it. But sometimes you're going to let someone on your own team affect your business. You're going to let it affect everything. And it changed my mindset. You guys, I almost quit because of one person on my team. I almost quit. I was ready. Literally spent the day in the bed. It's not worth it. So I got invited to go on the Disney Dream Cruise by Carla Burns last year. And I went. And it changed me. My heart needed it. It wasn't like this huge spiritual awakening. It was just time away to be with people that had a like mind. And it got me back on track. Best investment I've made. And then I went to conference. Some drama happened at conference. And guess what? That's when I removed that person from my team page. Sometimes you have to do that, y'all. And since then, there has been peace and massive growth. But also during that time when I let all of the negative from this person distract me and distract my team, is because I was not personally able to handle it. Why? Because I was not doing personal development. My heart wasn't strong. My mind wasn't strong. And when those things aren't strong, how in the world can you handle anything else? And let me tell you this, you guys, we're It Works distributors. Some of you might be licensed counselors, but we ain't here to counsel nobody. If somebody doesn't want to fix their life, you're not going to fix it for them. You can pray for them, absolutely. But we cannot fix people. We are not somebody's savior. That's somebody else's job. Okay? So take that off of yourself, because I put that on me. Like, I need to help fix this person. You can't fix broken people that don't want to be fixed or don't even see that they need healing, okay? So fast forward to this year. I kept going. You guys, I never stopped building my business. That's not why I lost rank. I've always completed my steps to success 2 or 3 times a month, at least 10 months out of the year. I've always been a worker. So even when, and you guys, I have epilepsy. When I have a seizure, it lays me out, but I don't know how to not work my business. I'm like Rachel, like I could work this business 10 hours a day if I could, because I love it so much. I'm addicted to it. Give me all the clothes, give me all the products, give me all the things. I want to be there. I want it all. I love what I do. And I never thought that I would find that. And if any of you can relate, before this business, I didn't know who I was anymore. Now I'm going to cry. That's why I took my lashes off. Tell my husband. But I was a mom, and I was buried in motherhood, in debt and stress. And nobody knew that on the outside, right? They don't know how weak you are. So when somebody makes fun of my business, I take it personal. Because like my human babies, this business is my baby. So when you make fun of my business and you attack my team, Mama Bear's coming to get you, right? I built this from the ground up. And I am proud. I am damn proud of what I do. Who's proud? And if you haven't been proud, are you going to get proud? Okay, give me a second. Okay. So I kept asking, because you guys, somebody needs this. I needed it, and I wasn't even asked. I just kept seeing it. So I was at a graduation party, and this is the turning point. I was at a graduation party in May, because I used to nanny before it works. I nannied. And there was this girl. And she was this gorgeous cheerleader girl, and I was just listening to her conversation, and, you know, we're always thinking in the back of our minds, ooh, she would be so good for my team. And so I'm standing there listening to the conversation, and she goes, well, just with cheer and school and this, I just don't have time to work. And I go, girl, you should work with me. I work from my phone. And she said, okay. That girl, a week later, y'all, I didn't think she was going to join my business because I never get my hopes up. A week later, she joined my business. She had already watched videos on YouTube. This girl, my friend Alexandra, she has transformed my business. She's been in the business 2 months. She's built for Double Diamond. Her and her team have probably brought 70 or 80 new people into my business. I've wanted to quit. I've wanted to throw in the towel so many times. But God gave you this business, right? And if you don't believe he did, you're not believing the big God that I know. Right? I got double back. And my husband's crying. I got double back in July. Maintained. And I'm going to maintain again because it just keeps growing. So if there's any words that I can give you, I'm going to pull out my notes. Is personal development. Because as a leader and anyone who is an aspiring leader, you never ask your team to do something that you're not willing to do with them or you're not already doing. That is why I make 5 figures a month as a Double Diamond. And I've had a few checks where one thing that just is a personal thing for me, I don't want to be an average anything because I know God made me for more than that. So I've never been an average ruby, emerald, diamond, and I never want to be an average double. I've always made 5 figures except for a couple of months as a double. And that is God's blessing for my efforts. I know that. You watch training videos. You pour into yourself. I'm reading Girl Wash Your Face. Y'all, I feel like Rachel Hollis is like my BFF, my sister from another mother. I love her. She's incredible. And yes, I see some of you holding up your books. But I want you to take that time. Read a book. Mamas, any carpool mamas out here, that's when I read my book. I put on a movie or give my daughter my cell phone to watch YouTube. And that's what I do, is I read. I watch YouTube videos from other people in our business. I have reached out to people in other businesses and asked them what they do. And I have transformed those for my team and what's good for my team, and it's transformed my business. Don't be afraid to ask something. Then you teach what you've learned. And this is where your team's responsibility comes in, that they need to get on Zooms and heed your teachings. I've started to do power half hours, but lately I've just tried to go above and beyond, because sometimes if you're working social media, there are going to be times where host to post aren't working, or this isn't going this way. So last year I had to make some changes for me. I entered the freaking Mrs. Texas pageant. Talk about getting out of your freaking comfort zone. It cost me money, and I had to better myself in every way. But you know what? I made a lot of money because people saw the products worked, and 7 of those girls are distributors on my team now. So when God said, you're going to do this, because at first I told them no, but it was an incredible experience, and I grew. And now God's asking me to do some other things that require more time of me doing things to better myself. But you guys, if we're not bettering ourselves, and hold on, I got to find this because I don't want to misquote myself. Hold on. Okay. Nope, that's not it. Nope, hold on. Okay. So, you cannot inspire your team to change with your uninspired, empty heart. Because with that, you can't fill somebody else up. So us as leaders spending time bettering ourselves will also translate in being a gift for others. I want you to think about that. You're not being selfish because you take time for you. One of the things that my husband has always told me when things are falling apart is this: spend more time with Jesus. Like I'll ask him, what can I do to be a better wife and better mother? And he says, spend more time with Jesus, and everything else falls into place. And it's true. I don't know if you're a believer or not, but it's worth a try, right? It's worth a try. So I want you guys to focus on spending more time with yourself too, but time in the Word, time in a book that makes you realize who you are so that you can become more of who God created you to be. Because when I joined this business, I came back to life. And it hasn't been easy. It hasn't. But it's been rewarding, because every freaking valley that I have been through has given me another notch on my belt, because I've become a stronger woman and a stronger leader that I never thought I would become. I had a professor tell me in college that I would never amount to anything. They said that to me in front of my dad, y'all. And I believed that lie for years. But you, my friend, all 300 beautiful women of you, or men, sorry, I can't see your face. You are meant for such a divine purpose. And you are beautiful, and you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And only you can reach the people that you're going to reach for this business. Okay. Rachel shouldn't have told me not to cry. Okay. Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Thank you so much, Amanda. How do you want to talk after this? I'm just like so overwhelmed, so many emotions. I just want to say that at the end of the day, it's just a lesson and we have no excuses. You heard a lot of story tonight, and that was only the number one of the Dark Horse series. So guys, this is gonna be crazy every week. So if that didn't fill you up tonight, there's more to come. But I don't know what to say more than that you already heard. The only thing that I can say is when I started this business 5 years ago, it was not even official in France. We had only 10 products. There were no translation, no document, no e-suite in French. Everything was in English. So I went diamond in 2.5 months. I went double diamond in 9 months. My husband went a double diamond the year after. So if we were able to do this, with everything you have right now, the tools and everything the company is doing for us, this is amazing. Like 5 years after, I can tell there's a huge difference. In France, we had to wait, like at the beginning, it was like 3 weeks or a month to get the product. So we were actually promoting without even trying the product, so without even having the products. So you can do it. There's no excuses. The first time I came to conference, I flew from France, and I was double diamond, but I was paid as a ruby at that time because my team fell apart. And if I was able to fly from France, everybody can go to conference. And you know what? Conference saved my business because I was about to quit. And I don't know if you were there, but I remember something that Pam said that day. She said, everybody stand up if you feel like somebody make you a gift when they talk to you about this business. And everybody stood up. I have goosebumps just thinking about that. I don't know if you forget about that, but we have a gift. And we have to share these gifts all around the world. If I can do this Zoom in front of 300 people in English, and it's not even my language, I'm still building my business here in the United States. I don't know nobody. My family is in France. I don't have a lot of friends here. I don't know nothing. and I'm doing this. I have to force myself to rebuild relationship every day. I have to speak another language. I have to get used to everything, but I'm doing it. So if I'm doing it, everybody can do it. And honestly, I was so scared before we started this Zoom, because I was like, oh my gosh, if you start like mumbling and like you cannot talk anymore. But we did it, and I think it was amazing. At the beginning, when I had this idea, it was first for myself, because I felt like I needed to hear some testimonies like that. And I remember when I heard Rachel Jones' story the first time, it has such a huge impact on my business that I was like, okay, so many people need to hear that now, that I feel like we should do just a huge Zoom. And like so many people were excited, we just had to do like several Zooms. So it's gonna be just some other Zoom amazing. And I want you guys to remember, the past is in the past. And if you have to look in the mirror, just keep in mind that you're gonna look at where you come from. I just want you to remember everything you have done, all the efforts and everything you've been through, but the rest stay in the past. Let's move forward. Okay? So who is the dark horse now? Are you ready? Yeah? Okay, that was amazing. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your participation. And thank you, Amanda, Jenny, and Rachel. And I can't wait for the next one next week. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Good night.